In this video, I'm going to show you how I edit the video in the main sequence. With the all clips finished, or the all cuts, whichever one you want to use, you'll select it all, you'll do Command C to copy, you'll go to the main sequence, make sure your playhead is at the very beginning, press Command V as in Victor to paste, and that is it. So this will be all of the footage that you'll be working with, and at this point, your main objective is to make sure that the audio is at a conversational pace. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so there was an awkward delay here.
Portfolio for real estate, portfolio for real estate, portfolio for real estate.
Okay, so what I did here is for real estate, when I say for real estate, for ends with an R, real estate begins with an R, so I'm just delaying this by removing where for ends and real estate begins. Okay, now this is going to look like a weird jump cut.
For real estate, for real estate.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to massage this jump cut so that way it's not so abrupt. And the way I do that is by scaling my footage by 33%. So I'm going to go over here to scale with my footage selected, do 133. I'm going to click on the motion, and I'm just going to drag it to make it look more aesthetically pleasing.
Portfolio for real estate. Portfolio for real estate.
That's too quick, so I'm just going to press my B tool and bring it in maybe one frame.
Portfolio for real estate.
Okay, now you hear a pop.
Portfolio for real estate.
You hear that pop?
Portfolio for real estate.
The way you do this, the way you massage that, and I want you to do this where there's any cut in the audio. Even for sound effects, anything, any audio piece. Select the cut point, press Command Shift D, and this is going to create a constant power. Or you can go to your effects tab and then look for constant power. You need to use constant power here and just reduce that just a little bit. And now listen to it and you're not going to hear the pop.
Portfolio for real estate, video, portfolio for real estate.
Okay, a lot of times people don't do this constant power and I hear that pop in other people's videos.
Portfolio for real estate. Okay,
that's how you can tell there's a cut. But we're going to keep that constant power there.
Portfolio for real estate, video, and design.
Okay, so now you hear this smack.
First.
Where possible, reduce that smack. I don't want to hear that. Okay, now we're at a transitional point and we add that constant power.
First, go to your browser and design.
Okay, I don't want to, this looks awkward. Pressing my B tool, my ripple edit, and just before I move, I'm going to do it right there.
Video and design. First, go to your browser.
Okay, now we need to massage this just a little bit. So I'm going to take my B tool again, and I'm going to extend this out.
Design. First, go to your browser. Design. First, go and design. First, go to your browser, and then type in my website, which is benaccinelli.com.
Any load time, I want to delay in screen captures. So I hit it here. Okay, right here. I'm going to basically reduce that, press my B tool for my edit, select this cut, add a constant power, reduce it.
From there you'll be taken From there, you'll be taken to my home page, which has an About Me video. Taken to the home page.
Okay, so I cut right when I say which. Okay.
Page which has an About Me video. Page which has an About Me video, and also a place where you can input questions and comments if you'd like. and also a place where you can input questions and comments if you'd like. This goes to questions and comments.
And that is a little awkward gap. Just reduce that just a little bit.
Questions and comments if you'd like. Comments if you'd like. Comments if you'd like. Comments if you'd like. This goes straight to my business email. Up top, you have the About Me tab, Utah Real Estate Photographer tab, video production, logo design, and my blog.
Okay, so right here I have a gap. Let's reduce that. And we don't have any movement in the screenshot. And we want to make cuts to where the screenshot still looks organic, that we're walking through it. Okay, so I'm cutting right as I say to.
And it'll take you to my landing page.
So I'm actually going to press the R key and reduce this and speed it up by shrinking this footage because I have mouse movement there, and I'm going to delete the audio. Okay, so right here, I don't want to have this load. So right before it begins to load, I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to take a piece of a still frame. Okay, so right here I'm not moving the mouse. So I'm going to take this piece right here, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to press my R tool, and I'm going to stretch it.
These work. So you can click on Utah Real Estate Photographer, and it'll take you to my landing page, or landing page.
Okay, so where it says landing page, I don't want to see that bar come down.
Or you go to.
Okay, right here is where I stop moving to right here. So I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to delete here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, press my R tool, I'm going to stretch this.
These work. So you can click on Utah Real Estate Photographer, and it'll take you to my landing page, or landing page.
And where that taskbar comes in, I'm going to delete that, press my R tool, and stretch this over. You have a lot more leniency when you stretch with a screenshot than you do with a talking head. So you can use that R tool or this rate stretch tool to speed up or slow down your screen capture, but you need to be aware of the mouse movements. So do it to where the mouse movements are either minimal or none.
Photographer, and it'll take you to my landing page, or you can go to.
Now I'm going to press the End tool, and basically what this allows me to do is to take a cut and adjust the cut. And I want this to be on cadence.
You can go to.
And I want it to be on you.
You can. Or.
Okay, so that taskbar is back. I want the video production to come on cadence, and this is important, to come on cadence when I say video production tab. So I want to say video and have it come in. So there's where the video comes in the audio. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this and use the rate stretch tool.
In my video production tab, you'll be able to see some of the work that I've done. This isn't all of the work I've done, but just some of the clients that I've served.
Using the rate stretch tool to make that mouse movement not jump. Using the ripple edit tool for this. And then adding constant power.
That I've served before. In the logo design.
Because if I don't add that constant power, listen.
I've served before. In the logo I've served before.
If I do the constant power and I shrink it a little bit.
Before. In the logo
it sounds more organic.
That I've served before. Whether you want.
Now right here, the transition is kind of abrupt.
To pursue my services or not, this is still good information to have. And my blog.
Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to transition more of a hard cut from rather movement to static. I'm going to do it from static to static. So from standstill to standstill.
Process, whether you want.
So this stops moving.
To pursue my services or not, this is still good information to have.
Stops moving. Rate tool.
Whether you want to pursue my services or not, this is still good information to have. And my blog.
And then blog. I want it on cadence.
This is still good information to have. And my blog. And my blog is mostly just to attract viewers to my site, to convert them into customers.
Okay, so this, I need it cleaned up just a hair.
My blog is mostly just to attract viewers to my site. My blog is mostly just to attract viewers to my site, to convert them to my site, to convert them into customers. So that's it. To customers. So that's it. Now you know how to access.
Now I want this to be a J-cut. So a J-cut is basically where the next scene, where the audio from the next scene starts while it's still on the previous scene. So basically what I'm going to do is press my N tool, take this cut, move it over here at this gap.
To customers. So that's it. Now you know how to access.
I'm going to select these two, and I want where the audio starts, I want it to be a little bit more, I want it to be a little bit closer to this cut. So I'm going to use my ripple edit tool, bring it there. This constant power is in the way. So basically the constant power blends the two clips together, 50-50. I'm going to hold down shift and then bring it down favorable to the left side.
To customers. So that's it. Now you know how to access my site and what all it entails. Thanks for watching.
Okay, and then here add constant power. You can even go out and do that.
Thanks for watching. In this video.
Okay, and here at the beginning I want constant power, but make sure it doesn't bleed too much because you're gonna hear this is gonna ramp up.
In this video,
You hear that?
In this video,
I want it to be, you know, like this is fine, where it's just a little bit over the audio. Okay, I heard an audio.
Of the work that I've done.
And I didn't add that transition there, that constant power.
Some of the work that I've done. This isn't all of the.
You hear that bleed?
This isn't all of.
That's a bleed from this audio coming in over here. So what we'll do is we'll take this, press shift, and then bring it over this way.
Work that I've done. This isn't all of the work I've done, but just some of, you'll be able to see some of the work that I've done. This isn't all of the work I've done.
Okay, so this is, the screen capture is still, it's not moving. So I'm going to clean this up. I'm actually going to delete this audio piece, take my ripple edit, and then add the transition this way.
Be able to see some of the work that I've done. This isn't all of the work I've done, but just some of the clients that I've served. Work I've done, but just some of the clients that I've.
Hear that? To bleed from this audio.
The work I've done, but just some of the clients that I've served before. And then
we're going to add some breathing room here. Basically, just a little bit longer pause, so that way the viewer can digest what they're listening to. So maybe 3 frames. So that sounds good. Now that we have that edited, what we want to do is bring in music. We have our music imported, and we, for the most part, want to use the WAV file. And right off the bat, this music is going to sound super loud.
in this video, I'm going to show you how to access my website and how to go through my portfolio for real estate, video, and design. First, go to your browser and then type in my website, which is benachinelli.com. From there, you'll be taken to...
We're going to bring this down to maybe negative 12 decibels.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to access my website and how to go through my portfolio.
Maybe a little bit louder.
Portfolio for real estate,
maybe negative 7.
Video, and design. First, go to your browser.
And then we're going to add the constant power. Like I said, we add that constant power to everything. All audio.
In this video...
Okay. For the most part, everything here sounds really good. So I'm going to go ahead and just nest my screen captures. I'm going to put that into my sequences. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that sequence. I'm going to open it up. And remember how we reduced the screen size to 50%? What we're going to do is we're going to make this nest, we're going to bring it to its full resolution. So that way we can zoom in and out in the main sequence. We're going to change this to 3840 because that's twice the 1920. And we're going to change this to 2160. And that allows us to keep the 16:9 ratio. Now that we see that this is 50%, what we want to do is bring this to 100%. Select motion, copy, and we're going to select all of the footage, all of the screen captures, and we're going to paste. We're going to save, go to main, and then hit 50. Now we can start inputting keyframes where we want to zoom in. Now that we have everything done, for the ending, you want to end on a beat, and preferably on a measure. So if we look here, if we just isolate the music, so this is a measure right here. Boom. Okay, so we have this small section here. That's a measure. 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 Okay, so now that we're at the beginning of this, we'll just bring the marker here. We'll bring this constant power, a little bit out. Now here's where it gets interesting. With the audio waves, what I want you to do is put your playhead at the last mound and then press Command, click on the volume, and then right here in the timeline, skip forward 2 seconds and then put in another marker. Now what I want you to do is pay attention to where this marker is. It's at -7. I want you to bring this up 6 decibels, so it's going to be at approximately -1. And that's where I want you to end it. Now right here, we're going to import we're going to import one of my outro cards. So we're going to go to footage and import it. Now that we have my outro, we just want the video part. And right here, we're going to cut it on a beat. So we're going to figure where that's at.
It's my site and what all it entails. Thanks for watching.
Okay, right here, that's where that beat is.
And what all it entails. Thanks for watching.
Okay, right here's another beat. And so you see how it's transitioning. And then we'll end that right here. Now this is ready for exporting.